is to do with the recent increase in registration and other fees by the University of Maiduguri in Borno State.
Okay, your mic is not going off. Distinguished colleagues, before I put the question, because he has come under orders 42 and 52, the practice will be that our standing orders require that we get at least 1/5 of senators to approve this before our distinguished colleagues could make the presentation. But before then, let me first of all commend all our committees, distinguished senators, for the wonderful work that we have been doing on the budget defense in the last 2 weeks. We have shown commitment, we have shown dedication and capacity to discharge our responsibilities very patriotically for the love of our country. Our committees have worked in some cases with sister committees from the House of Representatives. In some other cases, the committees work simultaneously in the House and the Senate. But we have done so wonderfully well so far. We have almost finished the budget defense. Today will be the last day for budget defense, and therefore this plenary session will not take long. We'll adjourn to enable our committees to conclude in their budget defense today, and also for our subcommittees to start forwarding and defending their budgets, forwarding their reports to the Committee on Appropriation and defending from tomorrow before the Senate Committee on Appropriations. And that exercise, that process will last for 1 week. We'll start from tomorrow, the budget defense before the Committee on Appropriations, and conclude on the 5th of November by the grace of God. That's a period of 1 week. And within that period, we will not hold plenary so that we have the entire time, the full time for us to conclude work on the budget. So with this, I want to commend all of us here for doing so well. It has been quite remarkable, and I believe that going forward, our subcommittees, the subcommittees of appropriation, will also be able to finish the budget defense before the Committee on Appropriations by Tuesday next week. That will be the 5th of November. With these remarks, let me put the question for the 42-52 request of our distinguished colleagues to present his motion. Those in favor of the motion, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. You can present your motion. Distinguished Senator Kyari.
Thank you, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues. The Senate received with deep concern the recent decision by the management of University of Maiduguri to increase the registration and other fees of students of the school from 40% to 400% in certain instances as strategically regrettable and unhelpful in the face of the plight of the people of the Northeast as a whole. An example is an increase from 25,000 naira to 129,000 as bench charges and other fees for some students. Senate also notes that irrespective of the justification that may be attached to this decision due to maybe the peculiar operational and managerial realities of the school, the decision is one that must worry every well-meaning Nigerian at this time. Senate also observes that education remains the biggest repellent and the most potent tool in our arsenal as a people to not only defeat Boko Haram for good, but also revamp the Northeast from the shackles of underdevelopment and poverty. It also acknowledges the prime place the University of Maiduguri holds in this regard. is invaluable in the Northeast in particular and to the entire northern Nigeria and Nigeria in general. Further acknowledges the courage and determination of the university management by being steadfast in the provision of excellent academic environment and without shutting its campus in the face of severe threats during the heightened activity of the insurgency, begs that this decision be reviewed. Aware that with over 14 million Nigerian children of school age not in school, and of these numbers not attending school, 62% live in northern Nigeria. Half of the men in northeast Nigeria have received no education at all. And this figure rises to over 61% for women. It is imperative that school in the northeast remains of strategic national interest with overwhelming national security importance. The Senate also considers that the fact that Borno State has the highest number of people that don't have access to education due to the present Boko Haram crisis in particular. More than enough reason to ensure that the least burden for access and viability of education as a fundamental privilege is ensured as far as possible, especially for University of Maiduguri. Senate also observes that all stakeholders must rise to the occasion at this moment to ensure that the state of affairs is reversed due to the greater need to propagate the right value of tolerance, liberalism, multiculturalism, and self-empowerment through education at the highest levels. Notes that to allow this decision to stand would further push the entire people of Borno and Northeast further into the state of utter despair, having been beaten away from their farms, their lands, their fishing activity, and where most have lost livelihood due to the absence of an economy. This would narrow their choices and amplify the appeal towards those against education, therefore deepening the gulf and the impact of the insurgency, and also aware, finally, that a lot of students, especially those from Borno and Northeast states, will drop out should this decision see the light of day. This situation may force them to become a social menace to the society. Accordingly, the Senate resolves to 1. Mandate the Committee on Tertiary Education and TEDFund to engage the management of University of Maiduguri to stay action on the increment to enable the committee carry out its investigation on the matter in a bid to finding a lasting solution. I so submit.
You can second the motion, Senator Ibrahim Govir.